Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, May 8th. It is 7 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All members of town council are present. All members of town council are in town hall chambers, with the exception of Councilmember Reed, who is here remotely. At this time, I was just notified before this meeting that Mr. Tony Moretti had passed away. I would ask that everyone just pause in silence for reflection, thinking of him and his family. Thank you. Councilmember Rooney, do you want to say something?
Yeah, just if anybody knew Tony, he was known as Tony Moretti in town. He was a lifetime resident of Monroe. He graduated Mass High School in 1994. Tony was known and loved by people that knew him for his selfless commitment to the children of Monroe. Tony was a avid sports fan. He was a physical education teacher for 19 years in town, as well as coaching Mass High School football as a defensive coach for the better part of 20 years. Some of his other accolades include running basketball program in town. He was a volunteer coach for youth football and softball for 20 years. Anybody that knew Tony or ever met Tony loved him. He's going to be sorely missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember.
bother you, but there's no number 59.
If there's no objection, I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
I ask that communication items A through J be incorporated into the minutes of our meeting. Item 5, public participation. There's no member of the public in town council chambers, so I'm going to move it over to those who are here digitally. Is there any member of the public that is here via telephone, tablet, or computer that would like to participate during public participation this evening? Please remember to unmute yourself.
Kim?
Kim, did you want to participate? No? You're muted, so I cannot hear you. Okay, you're all set? Okay. All right.
Wow.
So, all right, one at a time. If there's any member of the public that is here digitally, please remember to mute yourself and state your name if you would like to participate this evening during public participation. Hearing none, seeing none, I'm closing public participation. We have no appointments tonight. Item 7, action items. Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Health, Public Safety Matters. Madam Vice Chair.
We have not met since our last meeting.
Thank you. Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Parking, Park and Recreation Matters. Councilmember Rooney.
We have not met since last meeting.
Thank you. Anything?
Just a few things from talking to Missy, the director. On the website, their hours and fees and all the information about the character things are up. The concerts, Saturday, May 27th will be Picnic in the Park. It's the kickoff of the bicentennial celebration, and Park and Rec have been wonderful partners and will be involved in a lot of things going. It will culminate with a concert that evening. But it'll be 1 to 5, is that right, Donalyn? 1 to 5 during the day with games and stuff going on through the day, and then the concert in the evening. So all that's on their website.
Thank you very much. All right. Next, Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative Matters. Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did meet tonight. Met on 4 items that all reached consensus before you. Connecticut Food Share Delivery Agreement. We also had number 58, which was the Department of Agriculture Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. Number 60, which was Administrative Services Agreement for the Progressive Benefits Solution. And number 61, Corporation for Public Broadcasting Inventory Update.
Thank you, Councilmember Reed. All right, item D, Strategic Plan Committee. Since the last town council meeting, we did meet Wednesday after our town council meeting. We spoke on one issue, and that's providing comments regarding the Board of Education facility study. The most important things that we wanted to add to the conversation based upon the review of a list that was already beginning to come together was we wanted to make sure that they took a look at their current HVAC situation in all buildings. We asked that they look for different and better use of their parking, increasing areas of parking if possible on various education campuses, as well as the safety during large scale events. We also had them, we wanted them to take a look at, which was already mentioned in the prior provided comments by Board of Education members, but to take a look at potential use of Chalk Hill as part of an educational campus, specifically looking at estimated numbers related to either remediating the building, ripping the building down and building a new building, or finding another use for that building space if the building is destroyed for athletic fields or some other school use. Additionally, to look at adding additional space at other buildings that are under the purview of the Board of Education. Those were the things that we discussed. Those comments were given to superintendent of schools through a Google Doc. So they were in receipt of those. The chairman of the Board of Education is aware of our comments, and they will attempt to make all reasonable efforts to have those questions and concerns addressed in their facility study. Okay. Item E, EMS Building Committee, Councilmember Rooney.
Nothing to report at this time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Item F, Open Space Preservation Acquisition Committee, Councilmember O'Rourke.
Mr. Chairman, we have not met since our last meeting.
Thank you. And item G for Selectmen's Update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few things for this evening. As I know everyone is aware, but I'll just report for the record that as we announced last week, the budget was approved at the annual budget referendum held on May 2nd. The final official vote was 923 yes and 728 no, or a 55.9% favorable vote. The Board of Finance conducted a special meeting on May 4th pursuant to the town charter to set the mill rate. As everyone is aware, the mill rate that's discussed in the budget is projected based upon all the factors that are contained in the budget. However, the Board of Finance must affirmatively set that. They did set the mill rate for real estate and personal property at $37.55, which was the mill rate as projected in the final budget that went to referendum. And the motor vehicle mill rate was set at the state cap, which is $32.46. A few business updates. Best in Backyards held a grand opening at their new location at 615 Main Street. They will be doing a ribbon cutting on May 12th at 11 a.m. So they've got a great new location up the road. Meet Me Premium Steaks, which is at 464 Main Street, is going to be holding a ribbon cutting on May 13th at noon. And at 205 Monroe Turnpike, which everyone will remember is the site that has the Panera and Noble Gas Station. Plans have been submitted to Planning and Zoning for the construction of the two additional buildings that were conceptually approved this location previously. The new plans include a 10,000 square foot medical office and also includes a proposed Aldi grocery store, just under 20,000 square feet. And last but not least, Pepper Street, the excavation planning and field surveys were done last week. Some construction activities resumed today. We anticipate they will continue to ramp up during the week. and weeks to come. They've advised us of the following activities during the next 2 weeks. Excavation of off-road drainage installation on the west side of Pepper Street at Commerce Drive. The concrete work at the box culvert at Pepper and Jockey Hollow. That's the parapet walls and preparation for middle parapet walls. And also they'll be working on the trail, the multi-use trail from Commerce Drive south towards the culvert crossing. And that's it for this evening.
Thank you. Councilmember Mauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Selectman, with regards to the Pepper Street, after this work is done, do we know what next steps after that are, or are these the final items?
Oh, no, there's still, no, this is, I'm just starting to ramp up. So there is approximately 500 foot section of Pepper Street where Eversource Gas did work over the winter to move one of their gas lines. That is the area that is most disturbed right now in terms of pavement. That's not because there's varying patches that are there from Eversource. So that work, they just need to, there's some lowering and final base course there. The entire length needs to have a final course of pavement and curbing, and the traffic light at the north side, the Pepper Street and Route 25 northern intersection. There's the post for it, the pole for it, but the new signal has to be installed still, and that had been delayed because of DOT changing specs. My understanding is that is in process. Orders are they're waiting for final delivery of certain equipment, and then that will be scheduled as well. So there'll be like what I would refer to as more of the punch list items afterwards, like, plantings, grass restoration, where there's been disturbances of people's property that have to replant grass and things like that.
Do we have an estimated end date or an outside date or anything along those lines?
So what went up to DOT was their projection was to be, and I want to get this exactly, I think it was an August date for the substantial completion, and then there's punch list stuff after that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. That is it for action items, unfinished business. Mr. First Selectman, we don't have an update, correct?
Not this evening, hopefully in 2 weeks.
Thank you. New business, item A, acceptance of individual donations of $1,500 or greater. Can I have a motion to accept the following donations? $2,000 from International Bureau of Electrical Workers, Local Union 488, $1,000 to the Bicentennial Committee, and $3,000 from Manny's Barbershop and Hairdressing for Park and Recreation. Their motion.
So moved.
A motion by Councilmember Mauer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Donald Wales. Mr. First Selectman.
Just once again, a thanks for these generous donations from these two Monroe organizations. IBEW, we know, is very active in the community and supports a lot of good community organizations and events. And Manny's, of course, a longtime Monroe business, and their support of the Bicentennial Committee and Parks and Rec is greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting those donations, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. Item B, Resolution 23-058. Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that I move the town council adopt resolution 23-058. Resolved that Kenneth M. Kellogg, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the fiscal year 24-25 agreement and any associated documents by and between the Connecticut Department of Agriculture for the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Mauer. Mr. First Select.
Mr. Chairman, so Kim Cassia, who's here with us this evening virtually, brought to my attention the Connecticut Department of Agriculture's program for senior farmers market nutrition. This program would provide electronic benefit cards to eligible seniors that they could then use at the farmers market for, for healthy options. The senior center would be identified as the town's local coordinating agency that would determine eligibility and distribute the cards to eligible seniors in the community. And obviously it's been reviewed by Frank. You have his opinion letter. I ask that we move this forward so we can provide this, this benefit to our seniors and also supporting our farmers market at the same time.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Miles.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Unmute yourself, Kim.
You're still muted.
You're on a phone, try *6.
It looks like an ad.
Yeah, it looks like.
I got
There
it.
we go.
All right.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure, so this can be any senior who qualifies under the income can come to the senior center, or do they need to come in person? Is there an online application they can fill out? What do they need to do in order to get their card and get this started for themselves?
Well, to be honest, this is the first year we're dealing with the cards. It's always been a coupon book. The program's been in effect for years. When I took over as director, I had asked, is there a contract? And they said, oh, it's still in place. I was like, okay. So when this contract came up, I made sure it went through the proper process and got signed through, going through this proper process. But we've been doing these farmer market coupons going back to when I was elderly services. So basically, we have a whole list of people. I have to tell them how many that we're looking at, and I projected 70, which has been our base number for several years. And we get the number from different things like energy assistance and other programs where we can already know what their income is, because it is an income-based program that people sign for. So this year, there are a couple different things that, because they're doing these credit card things, we can either have the senior come in, or we can take the information over the phone and help them fill it out. There's going to be a spread. Ronnie, who's our elderly services coordinator, will have this portal where she can enter all the information, and then it'll go onto a card. So we're going to have the seniors come in, because a lot of them are still iffy about, card things, and just explain it to them. And if we can't, then Ronnie goes out to their home and will explain it to them and go over the process and how it works. And just also, a lot of the seniors have always been wary about, the grounds. And we always tell them that the great volunteers will help them. And that seems to be getting more and more of them back to the farmers market.
If somebody's not on your list already, but believes they do qualify, can they just call the senior center?
Absolutely. People can call, and as soon as we have all the information, I can actually get it up onto the website, which I usually keep updated with. I can put the income limits up there. But yeah, they can definitely call, they can email, and we assist people in any way possible to, get them that information and get them signed up.
And basically what this will end up being this year, instead of the coupon book, is basically it's a debit card with a certain amount of money on it based off of how they qualify. And they just can use it to buy whatever they want at the farmer's market.
Yeah, from what I understand, I'm not sure if all vendors are participating, but those people that do participate will have a sign that says they participate. We're not sure how much is going on there. It used to be $18, and they were 6 coupons worth $3. So we're not exactly sure how much money. We have to wait for the Department of Ag to decide how much money is going on the card. And then, people can use the card at those vendors that are so indicated.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 23-058, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 920. Item C, resolution 23-060. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 23-060. Resolved that Kenneth M. Kellogg, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the administrative services agreement and any associated documents by and between the Progressive Benefit Solution for the Cafeteria 125 Administration Services.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Mauer. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So our HR department manages a relationship with Progressive Benefit Solutions for several years. They provide the administration of a flexible spending account for eligible employees, which, as many of you I'm sure is aware of, it's a self-funded account for employees and their dependents to pay for healthcare costs on a pre-tax basis. Progressive Benefit Solutions has advised us they have updated their standard agreement, which you have before you. It's been reviewed by the town attorney, and we'd ask that you move this forward so we can continue to offer this benefit to our employees.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 23-060, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 920. Item D, resolution 23-061. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 23-61. Resolved that Kenneth M. Kellogg, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe radio transmitters and translators inventory update forms for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting for WMNR.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Monroe. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you. So as everyone's aware, WMNR receives significant financial support from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. One of their requirements is for us to maintain an inventory of transmitters and translators that are either owned, leased, or operated by the radio station. MNR recently added a new translator to Mount Kisco, which you'll recall from a prior action item before council. Our general manager has prepared the appropriate forms to update the inventory with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. They have a requirement on their form that for the category that we fall under, which is local authority, their document requires a signature from a designated senior level representative with the authority to enter into binding contracts on the licensee's behalf. So contracts obviously being the authority of council, I would ask that, as you have done previously by granting the authority to execute certification documents for governmental or regulatory agencies, as you did last year, actually a couple of years ago in 2021, I'd ask that you pass this resolution so we could handle these forms for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting as well.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 23-061, also known as resolution 23-61, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes 920. Second, public participation. We have one unfinished item, which regards St. Jude property, which is item A of under unfinished business. Is there any member of the public who will participate? Please remember to unmute yourself. Once again, is there any member of the public that would like to participate regarding unfinished business item, St. Jude property and community center project update? Hearing none, I'm closing second public participation, and I'm adjourning this meeting at 7:24 p.m.